Bible in a Year, the Message Version, March 8, Numbers chapter 10, verse 1 through chapter 11, verse 23. God spoke to Moses, "Make 2 bugles of hammered silver, use them to call the congregation together, and give marching orders to the camps. When you blow them, the whole community will meet you at the entrance of the tent of meeting. When a bugle gives a short, single blast, that's a signal for the leaders, the heads of the clan, to assemble. When it gives a long blast, that's a signal to march. At the first blast, the tribes who were camped on the east set out. At the second blast, the camps on the south set out. The long blasts are the signals to march. The bugle call that gathers the assembly is different from the signal to march. The sons of Aaron, the priests, are in charge of blowing the bugles. It's their assigned duty down through the generations. When you go to war against an aggressor, blow a long blast on the bugles so that God will notice you and deliver you from your enemies. Also, at times of celebration, the appointed feasts, and new moon festivals, blow the bugles over your whole burnt offering and peace offerings. They will keep your attention on God. I am God, your God. In the second year, on the 20th day of the second month, the cloud went up from over the dwelling of the testimony. At that, the people of Israel set out on their travels from the wilderness of Sinai until the cloud finally settled in the wilderness of Paran. They began their march at the command of God through Moses. The flag of the camp of Judah led the way, rank after rank, under the command of Nahshon, son of Amminadab. Nathaniel, son of Zuar, commanded the forces of the tribe of Issachar, and Eliab, son of Helon, commanded the forces of the tribe of Zebulun. As soon as the dwelling was taken down, the Gershonites and the Merarites set out, carrying the dwelling. The flag of the camp of Reuben was next, with Elzor, son of Shadar, in command. Shelomelel, son of Zershadai, commanded the forces of the tribe of Simeon. Elsalaph, son of Duel, commanded the forces of the tribe of Gad. Then the Kohathites left, carrying the holy things. By the time they arrived, the dwelling would be set up. The flag of the tribe of Ephraim moved out next, commanded by Elishmaiah, son of Ammihud. Gamaliel, son of Pedahzur, commanded the forces of the tribe of Manasseh. Abidan, son of Gideai, commanded the forces of the tribe of Benjamin. Finally, under the flag of the tribe of Dan, the rear guard of all the camps marched out with Eleazar, son of Ammishaddai, in command. Pagel, son of Achran, commanded the forces of the tribe of Asher. Hiara, son of Anan, commanded the forces of the tribe of Naphtali. These were the marching units of the people of Israel. They were on their way. Moses said to his brother-in-law, Hobab, son of Ruel, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, "We're marching to the place about which God promised. I'll give it to you. Come with us. We'll treat you well. God has promised good things for Israel." But Hobab said, "I'm not coming. I'm going back home to my own country, to my own family." Moses countered, "Don't leave us. You know all the best places to camp in the wilderness. We need your eyes. If you come with us, we'll make sure that you share in all the good things God will do for us." And so off they marched. From the mountain of God they marched 3 days. with the chest of the covenant of God in the lead to scout out a campsite. The cloud of God was above them by day when they marched from the camp, with the chest leading the way. Moses would say, "Get up, God. Put down your enemies. Chase those who hate you to the hills." And when the chest was set down, he would say, "Rest with us, God. Stay with the many, many thousands of Israel." The people fell to grumbling over their hard life. God heard. When he heard, his anger flared. Then fire blazed up and burned the outer boundaries of the camp. The people cried out for help to Moses. Moses prayed to God, and the fire died down. They named the place Taberah, blaze, because fire from God had blazed up against them. The misfits among the people had a craving, and soon they had the people of Israel whining, "Why can't we have meat? We ate fish in Egypt and got it free," to say nothing of the cucumbers and melons, the leeks and onions and garlic. But nothing tastes good out here. All we get is manna, manna, manna. Manna was a seed-like substance with a shiny appearance like resin. The people went around collecting it and ground it between stones or pounded it to fine mortar. They boiled it in a pot and shaped it into cakes. It tasted like a delicacy cooked in olive oil. When the dew fell on the camp at night, the manna was right there with it. Moses heard the whining. All those families whining in front of their tents. God's anger blazed up. Moses saw that things were in a bad way. Moses said to God, "Why are you treating me this way? Why did I ever do to deserve this? Did I conceive them? Was I their mother? So why dump the responsibility of this people on me? Why tell me to carry them around like a nursing mother? Carry them all the way to the land that you promised to their ancestors. Where am I supposed to get meat for all these people who are whining to me? Give us meat. We want meat. I can't do this by myself. It's too much. All these people. If this is how you intend to treat me, do me a favor and kill me. I've seen enough. I've had enough. Let me out of here." God said to Moses, "Gather together 70 men from among the leaders of Israel, men whom you know to be respected and responsible. Take them to the tent of meeting. I'll meet you there. I'll come down and speak with you. I'll take some of the Spirit that is on you and place it on them. They'll then be able to take some of the load of this people. You won't have to carry the whole thing alone. Tell the people, consecrate yourselves. Get ready for tomorrow when you're going to eat meat. You've been whining to God, 'We want meat. Give us meat. We had a better life in Egypt.' God has heard your whining, and He's going to give you meat. You're going to eat meat. And it's not just for a day that you'll eat meat, and not 2 days or 5 or 10 or 20, but for a whole month. You're going to eat meat until it's coming out of your nostrils. You're going to be so sick of meat that you'll throw up at the mere mention of it. And here's why. Because you have rejected God, who is right here among you, whining to His face, 'Oh, why did we ever leave Egypt?'" Moses said, "I'm standing here surrounded by 600,000 men on foot, and you say I'll give them meat every day for a month? So where's it coming from? Even if all the flocks and herds were butchered, would that be enough? Even if all the fish in the sea were caught, would that be enough?" God answered Moses, "So, do you think I can't take care of you? You'll see soon enough whether what I say happens for you or not. Mark chapter 14, verse 1 through verse 21. In only 2 days, the 8-day festival of Passover and the feast of unleavened bread would begin. The high priests and religious scholars were looking for a way they could seize Jesus by stealth and kill him. They agreed that it should not be done during Passover week. We don't want the crowds to go up in arms, they said. Jesus was at Bethany, a guest of Simon the leper. While he was eating dinner, a woman came up, carrying a bottle of very expensive perfume. Opening the bottle, she poured it on his head. Some of the guests became furious among themselves. That's criminal, a sheer waste. This perfume could have been sold for well over a year's wages and handed out to the poor. They swelled up in anger, nearly bursting with indignation over her. But Jesus said, "Let her alone. Why are you giving her a hard time? She has just done something wonderfully significant for me. You will have the poor with you every day for the rest of your lives. Whenever you feel like it, you can do something for them. Not so with me. She did what she could when she could. She pre-anointed my body for burial. And you can be sure that wherever in the whole world the message is preached, what she just did is going to be talked about admiringly." Judas Iscariot, one of the 12, went to the cabal of high priests, determined to betray him. They couldn't believe their ears and promised to pay him well. He started looking for just the right moment to hand him over. On the first of the days of unleavened bread, the day they prepare the Passover sacrifice, his disciples asked him, "Where do you want us to go and make preparations so you can eat the Passover meal?" He directed 2 of the disciples, "Go into the city. A man carrying a water jug will meet you. Follow him. Ask the owner of whichever house he enters. The teacher wants to know, 'Where is my guest room, where I can eat the Passover meal with my disciples?' He will show you a spacious second-story room, swept and ready. Prepare for us there." The disciples left, came to the city, found everything just as he said, and prepared the Passover meal. After sunset, he came with the 12. As they were at the supper table eating, Jesus said, "I have something hard but important to say to you. One of you is going to hand me over to the conspirators, one who is at this very moment eating with me." Stunned, they started asking one another, "It isn't me, is it?" He said, "It's one of the 12, one who eats with me out of the same bowl." In one sense, it turned out that the Son of Man is entering into a way of treachery well marked by the Scriptures. No surprises here. In another sense, the man who turns him in turns traitor to the Son of Man. Better never to have been born than this. Psalm chapter 51, verse 1 through verse 19. A David psalm after he was confronted by Nathanael about the affair with Bathsheba. Generous in love, God, give grace. Huge in mercy, wipe out my bad record. Scrub away my guilt. Soak out my sins in your laundry. I know how bad I've been. My sins are staring me down. You're the one I've violated, and you've seen it all, seen the full extent of my evil. You have all the facts before you. Whatever you decide about me is fair. I've been out of step with you for a long time, in the wrong since before I was born. What you're after is truth from the inside out. Enter me then, conceive a new true life. Soak me in your laundry, and I'll come out clean. Scrub me, and I'll have a snow white life. Tune me in to foot tapping songs. Set these once broken bones to dancing. Don't look too close for blemishes. Give me a clean bill of health. God, make a fresh start in me. Shape a Genesis week from the chaos of my life. Don't throw me out with the trash or fail to breathe holiness in me. Bring me back from gray exile. Put a fresh wind in my sails. Give me a job teaching rebels your ways so the lost can find their way home. Commute my death sentence, God, my salvation, God. And I'll sing anthems to your life-giving ways. Unbutton my lips, dear God, and I'll loose with your praise. Going through the motions doesn't please you. A flawless performance is nothing to you. I learned God worship when my pride was shattered. Heart shattered lives ready for love don't for a moment escape God's notice. Make Zion the place you delight in. Repair Jerusalem's broken down walls. Then you'll get real worship from us. Acts of worship, small and large, including all the bulls they can heave until your altar. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 31 through verse 32. A good person's mouth is a clear fountain of wisdom. A foul mouth is a stagnant swamp. The speech of a good person clears the air. The words of the wicked pollute it. This was the daily reading for March 8.